Hi, my name is Matt Carroll with the Northwest Kansas Junior Golf Association. This video will show you some parts of the website and show you what all you will need to know as far as running and setting up a tournament. The website will be key for you as far as going through and finding all the information that you would need and directing parents and players to the website so that they can get the information they need as well. There is a form that I've created at the bottom here that allows people to sign up for email notifications. So if we would have a weather delay or maybe a cancellation or maybe move a tournament to a different date or let them know about if they signed up for the championship tournament, all different types of things, I would encourage them to go here and simply just put their email in this box. It will send it to a form to me that I can use to send all that information out. Makes it very easy. Schedule, there's a lot of different things that are on here. So make sure that you look at this and send this send this information out to parents so that they know they can go here and find out anything that they would need. There is a page on this website that is not public, but I do give the link out to my tournament directors so that they are able to come in and find the information that they would need for running a tournament. So that would be this page here. Notice there's not a link to it, but if you go to northwestkansasjuniorgolf.org/tournamentdirector.html, you might want to write this down, or I will send this link out in an email at some time. It will take you to this page on the website that is just for the tournament directors, and it gives them all the different information they would need for running the tournament. Contact information is down here below. So this is my email address and my cell phone number. Steve Woody in Atwood, his email address and his phone number. If you've watched the video and you've gone through the documents and you still have questions or something comes up the day of the tournament, feel free to give one of us a call and we'll see what we can do to help you out. The video that I'm recording right now will be placed right here in this section as soon as I'm finished with it. The biggest thing that you need to be concerned with is these forms and also going in and submitting your results. The forms, I will try to get printouts made and sent to you along with medals for each of the tournaments, but in case you need an extra or you misplaced something, you can always go to this page and download and print them out. So let's start out with the entry form right here. This form is going to be used on site to record your players as they register for the tournament. So click on it. All these are PDF files and it looks like this. You would put the tournament location in. So let's say that you're at Colby and it's on June 21st. You would put the date in here and you would just start recording names as they show up for the tournament. They need to display their card to you. It needs to be the official Northwest Kansas Junior Golf Association card. Do not accept copies. Do not accept cards that were made by local clubs. Only accept the cards that were given to you to be handed out. The actual blue and green colored cards with a logo on them. Those are the only cards that you should accept. Any other cards, you should say you need to have the official card. Make sure that you have the official card. But you would just simply put their name in here, put in their home course, and start filling this out. This will help you with your pairings. When the scores come in, it will help you you can place the scores in here, and then you can use this at the end to submit your results to me so I can get those posted on the website. Another thing I use this for, especially with my younger kids, we need to have markers for their age 13 and below. I would put an asterisk next to their name if they have a parent that can serve as a marker, because if I have 6 in the 8 and 9 boys, I want to split this into 2 groups. I need to make sure that I've got 2 markers. So an asterisk by that for me just helps me to know, okay, this person can serve as a marker, and I don't want to pair these 2 kids together that have a marker. So make sure that you can kind of sort things out. I think this will be a big help for you in getting things set up as the tournament people start to show up. I want everyone to use these forms so that we have consistency across the board. It's just going to make things a lot easier and a lot simpler if everything's using the same forms for everything. So use this entry form. The next one I'll look at is the rule sheet. You need to go over these rules with each group. Also, the markers need to know these and have a copy of these. This is also available on the website. If you go to the rules page, you can just download it from here, but there's a link to it here as well under the tournament directors page. I'm not going to go through all of these, but you should read through this and understand. It has our tee times and where they would tee off from. The sheet that I just showed you, the entry form, it also has where they should tee from. These play the short course. So if I go back to the rules page here, my boys, the short course consists of playing on the par 5s playing from 200 yards out. On par 4s, they would play from 150 yards out. And on par 3s, they would play from the red tees. Now, I do make some exceptions there. Let's say that your 200 yards out on a par 5 is on a steep hill, and you can find a flat spot at 185 yards, or you can find a flat spot at 210 yards. Go to that flat spot rather than playing on that steep hillside. Just try to find the best place for those kids to tee off from, as close as you can to 200 yards. Same thing with 150 yards on the par 4. Now, I don't want you to move them clear up to 90 yards in, 90 yards out. Try to keep them, somewhere between 130, 160 yards if possible. So they would play the short course. Girls 7 through 9, and 10 and 11-year-olds would play the short course. The 12 and 13-year-old girls would play the red tees. 10 and 11-year-old boys would play the red tees. 12, 13-year-old boys would play 9 holes from the whites. 12, 13-year-old girls would play 9 holes from the reds. Your high school kids are all going to play 18 holes. Girls from the red tees, boys would play from the whites and then the blues. The rest of this, like I said, I don't want to go through all of this because it's going to take a lot of time, but make sure that you read through this, understand the 10-shot pickup rule. That's important that they understand that. Practicing on the day of the tournament, having their own equipment. The players are allowed to have rangefinders, but they're not allowed to have cell phones or watches that can give them distances to the pin. So make sure that they don't have that type of equipment. That will result in a disqualification. We've talked about scores, and I'll talk about score responsibilities here in a little bit. We do give out medals to the top 3 golfers. If there is a tie for third place, if we do have 4 players, let's say we have a tie for third place, I would give out a medal to each of those. But you may want to have a playoff for that tie. Definitely have a playoff it's for first or second. And you can just, go to the first tee or whatever tee is closest and play that off. And then if they do, I do have cards that you'll need to hand out with your medals that tell them how to register for the championship tournament if they want to compete in that tournament. So there's a card that explains that to them. Make sure you pass out that card when you hand out a medal. They must be 7 years old to medal in the divisional championship. So they can play and they can earn a medal in the regular tournaments if they're 6. But if they need to be 7 in order to qualify for the championship tournament. Talks about their cards and these types of things. Make sure that the players are carrying their own clubs. Parents aren't carrying clubs for them and those types of things. They're not riding around in carts. And kind of some common sense stuff there. We'll go back to this. This is the markers card. And I will try to print these out on poster board or on cardstock for you. If you don't have enough, you can download these and print them out on cardstock so that they have a nice card to work from. Write the name of the tournament location, circle it's 8 and 9 girls, circle that, and then you'd put the player's name in here. And then the marker would use this to keep score. What I encourage them to do is use tally marks. I'm in the habit of putting X's for putts, but they don't need to do that. Just keep tally mark. Let's say they get a 6. And they get a 7 on the next hole, have them write a 13, and just kind of add this up as they go along. And so that way when they get to the end, they already have a running total, and it's a lot easier to figure out what the total is when we get to the end of that. But this is the card I would have them use. It has a few of the rules written on it so that they understand. It's right there in front of them for the marker to look at. We've also got, this is the marker duties, what the markers are responsible for. Print these out and make sure that a marker has a copy of each of these. Make sure that they understand that they're not a referee, they're just there to keep track of the score. It's the player's responsibility to know the rules, not the marker's responsibility. Make sure that they're counting whiffs and that type of thing. We have had some issues in the past of markers not counting whiffs of players. But this is all comes from USGA and from KSHA, and we've kind of just adjusted it a little bit to fit our needs. But make sure you print this out and get a copy to your markers. Spectator guidelines, I'll have some copies of these, and you make sure that the spectators have a copy of this and understand what is expected of them. We don't want parents out there coaching their kids. We don't want it to be where the parents are micromanaging. Now, we do have some young kids out there that are going to have a hard time understanding the rules, understanding what they should do. It's good to help them out, but I don't want it to be where you've got one kid with a parent that's telling them to hit their 7-iron, telling them to hit the ball 30 yards or whatever, and you've got one kid out there with nobody, and that's not fair to that kid that doesn't have any help. So if you do have someone out there that's helping them with the rules and that type of thing, I just want to make sure that they're helping everyone equally and not just following their one player and coaching up that one kid. So, but otherwise they should remain 30 yards behind, and this kind of goes through. This all comes from Keisha as well, but it's a good fit for us, so we're going to use this for our spectators. So make sure that the spectators understand this and have a copy of these rules also. The score display is simply just, if you would like, and I like to do this, print these out, tape them up to a window or a wall somewhere on site, and then you can put the player's name in, write down their score and their placing, and so that it's easy for them to see what their placings are. But also tell them that this will all be posted online, hopefully by the end of the day. Hopefully you can get this to me when the tournament's over, and I can get it posted pretty quickly. So by by that evening we can have all this posted online. But this is something that you can print out and use to post to display scores. So that takes care of all of the forms. There is a way for you to download the logo. So if you would like to come in and download this logo and use it for something. The JPEG has a white background. The PNG has no background, so if you want to use this to overlay something, you could use this for promotional purposes or whatever if you wanted to have a copy of that. The tournament results, this would simply be you have completed your entry form. You have all of your names, their home course, and the score. Try to get the spellings correctly so that I can get them put correctly on the website. But you would use this. When it's completed, you would come down here. Let's say that you had the Goodland tournament, and you would come and you would put their names, their town, and their score in here. Try to list them in order. Let's say if you had a tie and you had a playoff, like here we had 2 54s. That way we know, Brady was third, Tanner ended up in 4th place. That way we know where they placed. I can go in and gray these out if we need me to or whatever, but you fill this out, I will have access to it on my end because it is a Google document. It's a shared document. So I will get your results. I'll turn it into a PDF and I'll post it up on the website so that we have these posted up there. Again, contact information is really not all that difficult to do. You should have enough medals for everyone. You should have everyone should have the official cards to pass out. When you collect the fees, it's $10 per card. If they lose their card, and they had one before, it's $2 for a replacement card. Now, out of the $10, the initial $10, $7 of that goes to the association, and that is used to purchase medals, plaques, door prizes, those types of things, to run the website, that type of thing. $3 out of the $10 goes back to your club. So if you have 10 kids from Colby sign up, you get $30 for your organization. The rest of that needs to go to Northwest Kansas Junior Golf Association. So, and that payment can come to me at the championship tournament at the end of the year. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call or send me an email. We're trying to do some things with scheduling as far as people registering for the championship, so make sure you're directing people to the website, having people sign up for email notifications. Make sure you're passing out those cards with the medals so that they know they need to go here, and read the directions so that they get this correctly when they go to sign up. Once we get close to the championship tournament time, which it is right now, today is the deadline for them to register for 2018, I will send out a list that has that says who all is registered, so that they know, so that if someone hasn't registered or if they're not sure, they can go down the list and see if they've registered or not. And I will send that out to everyone so that they have an understanding of that. But if you want to send me pictures, I'll be glad to create a page on here to post pictures and that type of thing. So if we want to start doing that, I have no problem with that. But the website has been a big help as far as getting things figured out and getting the word out to people. So if you have any questions, don't be afraid to give me a shout, and hopefully this video will help you to run your tournament and make things run a little bit more efficiently and easily for you.